Hello and welcome to In2iTarot. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am a level 2 Reiki practitioner and have been working with tarot for over 15 years. In today's video, we are going through a new tarot set that was gifted to me by a very generous coworker of mine. I have a feeling that this is going to be a very special set for me. This actually took me by complete surprise. I've never even heard of In2iTarot before. I had to actually look them up. And I was very impressed by their website and their collection of decks that they have. I was having a really bad day at work the other day and I was questioning a lot of things, and I almost feel like this was a gift from the universe along with the very generous coworker that gave these to me. I didn't even know that she was into tarot. Everybody at work knows that I'm a tarot card reader and have done many readings for them. And she just randomly came up to me and said, you know, I ordered these cards a long time ago. They don't really resonate with me, and so I figured that you could get use out of them. And I was completely blown away. She just gave me the box, and when I opened it, there was not just this one box, but these two smaller decks as well. And I'm pretty sure I cried a little bit because I was just having a rough day, and that just totally turned my day around. It's amazing how just little act of kindness can turn somebody's day around like that. Going into these blind, aside from the quick glance that I gave these cards and the little that I saw on the website, these cards seem like they're very well made and definitely made with love. I think to start, we will look at the full-size deck first. And I have a feeling that the lovely ladies over at In2iTarot have probably had some issues with cards being damaged, because they have a nice note here telling you how to break in your deck, and even a little video that you can watch to show how to properly break in these decks, which I have not done yet, full disclosure, but I will before I actually work with them. So we will open this up and see what we have. So right away I knew this deck was going to be beautiful, because I mean, look at this box. The box can tell you a lot. It's very high quality and thick, definitely durable, and it's kind of hard to tell on my camera, but this is a metallic gold mandala on there. This just shows who designed the deck. Apologize for the glare. It's hard to see, but on the side there it says author and artist Kimberly Aria. And it's the Keywords edition. It has the 78 traditional tarot cards plus 5 bonus cards. Be interested to see what those are. I'm just going to go ahead and open it up. I can already see one of the bonus cards here, and it has the zodiacs and the planets listed out, along with some keywords associated with it. So if you haven't seen my other tarot deck review, I did a review on the introduction deck that I'm using in my Healing with Tarot series. So these are just another tool that I have for those little triggers to help you with your readings. On the back here has some information about the deck itself. It says, with over 1,700 keywords to spark your inner knowing, this deck will help you effortlessly read cards in either the upright or reverse position. So again, it's similar to the other deck that I reviewed, which I think comes in handy, especially when you're newer to tarot. You can use any traditional tarot card spread or implement our favorite technique, which is to ask an open-ended question and pull 3 or 5 cards. The center card is the focus of the answer, while the cards on either side give supporting details. That's actually kind of interesting. I might have to try that. That's a technique I haven't tried before. If you need more information, simply ask a follow-up question. Continue this process until you've gained all the information you need about the situation into which you're looking. For even better results, use with our Q Oracle, which would be these here. Create a reading you can take a picture of and keep for future reference. And here they just have an illustration of what that spread would look like. So they have the question card here, this would be the answer to the question, and these would be supporting details for it. Very interesting. You'll see the back of the cards. These are gorgeous. I'm actually kind of speechless. These are just so beautiful. Don't want to read them because they're just so beautiful. And I can definitely see why they give you that note as to how to break these in. And here you can see on the edges, have that gold foil around them. They're literally sparkling. This is just so beautiful. And start right off with our Fool card, as we like to do. So right away I can tell this is definitely a photorealistic approach to these cards. I'm so used to the traditional artwork and the more cartoony style. This is quite refreshing. So we have our Fool represented as a woman on the cliff with her dog. And I'm also noticing we have a bit of information on the corners here. Looks like we have the number associated with it, the planet, and the zodiac symbol. So the keyword chart here makes that much more sense, because you can always have this to refer back to. And it looks like we have a main keyword here in gold. So it says the Fool, a free spirit, and other keywords listed underneath. This is just very clean too. Very simple, nice clean font that jumps out from the background. So it makes it very easy to read. As I did in the other video reviewing my other introductory deck, I asked a question of the viewers to let me know what their thoughts are on the overall layout of the card, if this would be helpful to you or if it would be distracting to you. Now, if we take the card and flip it into its reverse, these are laid out a little bit differently, but you still have the keywords here for the reverse position. Which again, like I had said in my previous video, I think it's very helpful to have the keywords, especially for the reverse position. For some people, it's harder to read in the reverse. It's hard enough to remember the meanings of 78 cards, but then you add the reverse into them as well. That's just more information for you to remember. So to have these, I think, is especially helpful. And we'll just go through the major arcana and see what we have. Magician's pretty cool. Very dark, mysterious. This High Priestess is gorgeous. Contemplating into her crystal ball. There's that the moon. Almost looks as if she's staring in the moon, which would make sense considering what the card stands for. A beautiful pregnant woman for the Empress. Emperor has that tall, dark, and handsome vibe going for him. More traditional looking Hierophant. Very romantic scene here for the lovers. Pretty straightforward representation of the Chariot. Woman with a female white lion for the Strength card. I like this take on the Hermit. Ooh, now this is interesting. Different design than I've ever seen for the Wheel of Fortune. I really like it. Pretty straightforward, traditional view of justice. I like the Hangman too. That's very cool. I was curious to see what they were going to do for the Death card. Oh, this is a beautiful Temperance card. I love the purple. Interesting take on the Devil card. I expected more to be going on in this card, and there's not, and I'm pleasantly surprised by that. Now, if I were to see this card without the title or the keywords, I don't know that I would know how to read this card as much. To me, this is more of grief as opposed to the things that are associated with the Devil card. Let me know what your thoughts are on this card below and how you would interpret this card. Traditional, realistic approach to the Tower. This kind of reminds me of something that would be on the cover of a Stephen King novel. Beautiful star card. I've always loved the star card. It's one of my favorites. I just get a very warm, fuzzy feeling from it, and it's beautiful. It's like something out of a fantasy novel. Okay, another interesting take on this one's for the moon. I'm curious to see what your thoughts are on this card as well. Aw, that's cute. I love that for the sun. You can't help but smile when you see the sun card. This is beautiful. I love this one. I wonder if this is the same woman from the Hanged Man card. I know I'm not through the entire deck yet, but just my first impressions of going through the major arcana, I wouldn't get the depth that I get from other decks with this deck. It doesn't take away the fact that these are absolutely gorgeous. Probably very helpful for readers that are just starting out so that they can get that information in the corner and the keywords, but I think these are a little too oversimplified for my liking. But again, I'm still so grateful for these cards and to be able to see the beauty in them. And it'll probably go along with the other decks that I have that are for pure aesthetics as opposed to ones that I work with often. But next, it looks like we're getting into what's traditionally called the pentacles. In this deck, they're referred to as coins. So it'll be interesting to see what imagery they use for these. Here we have the Ace of Coins. So you still have that hand coming down with the coin, which goes back to traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, and you have all the green in the background. Oh, I stand corrected. See, this is how you can know I haven't gone through the full deck yet. So it looks like we're covering all of the aces as opposed to going from one suit to the next. So here we have the Ace of Cups, just a nice fountain in the middle of what I would imagine is a very tranquil pond. Brings me back to the Rider-Waite-Smith with the overflowing fountain coming out of the cup. So I like that. Here we have the Ace of Swords, and here we have the Ace of Wands. I like how they included the fire in there, and it definitely gives you that fiery passion that's associated with the wands. Next, we're going into the twos. So here's the Two of Coins, known for the juggler, and here it looks like he's balancing some balls of light. Here we have the Two of Cups, traditional two figures coming together as one. They just look very happy with each other, nice serene background. And the keyword for this is loving exchange, and I think they nailed it with these two. Beautiful. So far, I think this card, the Two of Swords, harnesses the same energy that I expect out of a tarot card. What I mean by that is this holds the same energy to me as a traditional Two of Swords. And I think this is just fantastic photography. Two of Wands. And next we have the threes. And this to me is a very different take on the Three of Coins. To me it's more modern. So it's different. I appreciate the interpretation. And it may be even easier for some people to look at this imagery and understand what the card is trying to convey as opposed to more traditional decks. Again, very modern take. I'm enjoying the threes out of all of them so far. I'm just taking some time here to really look at the Three of Swords. I can see where they were going with this. And I think the picture definitely gets across the keywords that it's going for. And then finally we have the Three of Wands. You know, I think of everything from this deck, I have to say it's a very unique perspective on the interpretation of these cards. Okay, see where they're going with the Four of Coins. Aww, this is cute. For the Four of Cups. I'm sure there's many a picture of me as a young child in that same pose for the Four of Cups. Very cute. And here we have the Four of Swords. This to me goes back to the more traditional version of the card. Four of Wands, makes sense, wedding. Now we're going into the fives. Here's the Five of Coins, Five of Cups, Five of Swords. Oh, I like how they did that one. I wish I would actually like to see a deck that did this more, where they have two different representations of the upright and the reverse. This is very interesting to me. Five of Wands. Not what I would even think of when I think of the Five of Wands. That's interesting. Okay, now we're getting into the sixes. So we have the Six of Coins here. Aww. Six of Cups. Six of Swords again, going back a little bit to the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Six of Wands. This one too is a little bit more traditional. Going into the sevens, we have the Seven of Coins. Ooh, I like this one for the Seven of Cups. Seven of Swords. The Seven of Wands. You know, what I'm noticing more too as I'm going through these, I'm drawn more to the text than I am the pictures, and I'm getting more out of those keywords than I am the pictures themselves. Well, I think they're interesting interpretations of the cards, especially the ones that are in gold here. I can see why they have the question cards to go along with them. I think you would have an easier time answering specific questions with these as opposed to reading in the Rider-Waite. And these I would almost like to use as a secondary deck. So a lot of times when I'm doing in-depth readings, I have a main deck that I'm pulling, and if I need clarification on a card, I will pull from another deck for that specific card. So I could see myself doing that with these ones. They almost give you that extra information that you're looking for, and with these keywords here in gold might hit your intuition to be like, yes, this is what the universe is trying to tell you for this person or for your reading. So that's what I'm getting a lot out of this deck. The more I go through the deck, the more I'm liking it as opposed to my initial reaction to it. Going into the eights. I like that they stuck with the woodworking for the Eight of Coins, because that definitely takes perfection. Eight of Cups. Yeah, walking on a road with the guitar, I like that. Eight of Swords. Oh, that's a neat modern take on the Eight of Wands. I like that. We have an air show where I live every 2 years, and my house is directly in the flight path, so I get to watch them the entire weekend leading up to the air show, doing their practice runs, and it is so cool to watch them do that. So that's what that reminds me of. Going into the nines, we have the Nine of Coins, Nine of Cups, Nine of Swords, Nine of Wands. Going into the tens, we have the Ten of Coins, Family Legacy. This is another card that I've always had a difficult time connecting with and really pulling the information out that the card's trying to tell me. So again, this is where the keywords come in handy. So I could be like, okay, yeah, this is talking about a family legacy or things going on within the family. Buying a house, I would have never guessed for the 10 of coins. So I think that's great to have that extra information and those keywords there to pull from. Beautiful take on the 10 of cups. Again, that's just one of those, you have to feel good when you see that card. 10 of swords. And then finishing up the 10s with the 10 of wands. Moving into the court cards. Now, working with tarot for so long, I still to this day have such a difficult time working with court cards. I don't know what it is about them. I've taken specific courses just to work on court cards. So this is where I find keywords come in handy to have. There's generalizations that I can go on. What does a page mean? What does a knight typically represent? So I tend to pull from that and just really let my intuition go on that, which is probably the best because you really want to be using your intuition anyway when you're working with your card. But I really appreciate a keyword when it comes to a court card. How are you working with court cards? Is that something that you easily pull information from, or do you struggle with them too? We have the Page of Coins, Page of Cups. I think that's perfect for a Page of Cups. Page of Swords. That's interesting. Kind of reminds me of paparazzi in a way. Page of Wands. Moving into the Knight. Knight of Cups. Knight of Swords. Knight of Wands. Oh, this is gorgeous. Gorgeous card for the Queen of Coins. Love it. Beautiful Queen of Cups. Powerful Queen of Swords. You wouldn't expect anything less for a Queen of Swords. I really like this Queen of Wands card too. It's very pretty. King of Coins. Definitely has that King of Coins energy. King of Cups. They've nailed the court cards. King of Swords. And then technically we should be finishing up with the King of Wands, but we have those bonus cards that were mentioned on the box as well, so we'll be getting into those next. Curious to see what those are. So it wasn't a booklet that came with these, so I don't know the whole story behind these bonus cards, but maybe they would just add another layer to your reading. It looks like these are good for timing too. I know our main thing about tarot is you can't really predict time. I have readings that help me narrow down time frames as to when something might happen. This looks like it would be another good tool for that. So we have the vernal equinox. It says timing, a few days. It's time, act now, fresh start, awakening, spring. And then on the reverse side of that is the autumnal equinox, preparing for change. This would be timing for in a few months, make long-term plans, express gratitude. That goes along with Thanksgiving being in autumn, harvest and fall. Here we have the summer solstice. Timing would be a few weeks for whatever your question is. Let go of control, celebrate life, all things you expect to be associated with summer. And then you have the winter solstice with the beautiful northern lights in the background there. This has a timing of a year or more. This is definitely a tool I would like to add to my readings if it's something that I need for that specific question. I think these are very nice to have. Tie up loose ends, validate feelings, hibernate, winter. Here we have solar eclipse. This again is about timing. This one is for 6 months. Find your inner truth, catalyst for change, transformation, cosmic trigger beginnings. That to me goes along with the Fool card a little bit. Flip it over to the world. You have your lunar eclipse. Timing for this would be 3 months. Subconscious revealed, new emotional cycle, seeing clearly, divine aid, endings. So for here, again, we have some timing, 1 month or next full moon. Interesting. Emotional awareness, climax, move on, cycle, completion. New moon. New moons are traditionally used for manifesting. So here it says manifest your desires. Timing, 1 month or next new moon. A change in direction, set your intentions, new cycle, don't give up, germination. Okay. For the waxing moon, making progress. Timing, 1 to 2 weeks. Shifting consciousness, gaining strength, final steps, increase. And then lastly, we have the waning moon. 3 to 4 weeks for timing, reevaluate your plans, new perspective, having patience, decrease. I like these bonus cards. I think that they could definitely add an extra level to your reading, or if you need additional information on something, they would come in handy for sure. So that's a neat little addition there. I think these are similar to their full-size deck. This is just a pocket edition, which these are so handy to have. I like to have a tarot deck with me wherever I go because you never know when you're going to need it. So to have one small definitely comes in handy. Not to mention sometimes, you know, cards are big, so these are much easier to shuffle and handle. I'll pop this open and see what we got. I'll use the intro card just to show you how small these are. These are teeny. So it says, using this deck with titles and key phrases in the upright and reverse positions, this makes reading reversals easy, which we all love to have. Well, you can certainly use it on its own. Its diminutive size makes it perfect for clarification after using other decks to ask your questions. So again, maybe I would use this deck then instead of going back to what I said earlier, how I like to have a secondary deck to clarify certain cards that I'm pulling. Goes into their favorite reading technique again, which is definitely something I would love to try. So I'm not going to go too in depth because it looks, again, just like the cards that we went over before. Just nice addition to have. Good purse size to take on the go. This one you'll notice though, it just has the name in the corner and then that main keyword that was printed in gold on the full size card. You get to see the picture much more clear that they used to associate it. I'll just go through a few. There's that 2 of Cups that I just love that. And I didn't even notice in the larger version that was actually a heart behind them. And now that it takes away all the busyness of all the different words, you can actually focus on that. So I might actually prefer these ones because it doesn't have all those keywords and I can really focus on that picture. 3 of Coins. Oh, here's that card. I would love to see a deck like this. If you know of any deck that exists like this, let me know in the comments below. Because I just love how it has the 2 different interpretations of the upright and the reverse. That does it for the pocket size. I don't want to go over all of them because we've already seen all the pictures for those. So the last thing to go over in this very generous set that my friend gave me would be the question cards that they mentioned. So we'll go ahead and open those up. These I think are handy too because they tell you in all of the tarot books that you read, trying to learn tarot or ways to use tarot, it's very important to have just the right question in mind in order to get the information that you really need to hear. And I never thought that asking a question about something I wanted to know could be so difficult until I got into learning how to ask the right questions. So I think this is a nice tool to have for people that, you know, they have a general idea of what they would like to know in a reading. This can get into more of the details and ask the universe the question in the way that it's meant to. to and will help you guide your interpretation of the cards. So again, I won't go through all of these. I know they have plenty of examples of questions on the site, so you can always check them out there or get the deck for yourself and go through them one by one. It's one of my favorite parts of getting a new deck, is just sitting there and flipping through them and exploring them. So just for some examples, this one here, what is subconsciously limiting the manifestation of my dreams? I might actually put that one to the side and do a reading on that, because that's something I've been working with lately. So that's interesting. That was the top card. What changes should I commit to making in order to achieve my goals? How can I shift my thoughts and feelings towards this person or situation in order to improve the dynamic? What do I need to know about today or the week ahead? It's always a nice general reading to do for yourself. What blessings are coming my way today? And we'll just go through one more. How can I make this a truly wonderful day? And I might even expand on that and ask other questions, or even do like a 3-card spread with 3 different questions. Like, how can I make this a truly wonderful day? How can I make the most out of this day? Things like that. So I think even if you don't really resonate with the question, you can frame it in a way that does resonate with you. So I think that's another good way to use this tool. So that is my In2iTarot set. Very interesting. It's the most unique deck that I've gotten in a while, and I'm truly grateful that my friend was able to give these to me. Gives me another website to look at to buy another deck that I probably don't need, but I didn't even know they existed until she gave me these cards. So I always like learning about new artists and authors that are out there when it comes to these tarot decks, just to follow and see what they're doing. And it gave me some new tools to work with. I think it's really cool. It's a really unique set. You can tell that they put a lot of thought into this and that they work with tarot, and I think they're, really trying to personalize the experience for each individual reader. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. As I mentioned in the first tarot deck review that I did, I'm going to be slowly going through my collection and reviewing the deck so that you can see what's out there, and maybe a deck will resonate with you and you can have another one to add to your collection. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Feel free to check out the other playlists that I have on my channel. I'm again working in that Healing with Tarot series. I also have a companion series where I'm doing a visual journal based off of the lessons I'm learning in the Healing with Tarot, just to expand on that a little bit and use my creativity to fuel that sacral chakra. So if you are interested in those, go check those out. And until I do my next deck review, take care and be well.